What's going on, everybody? Welcome to MLS Week 6. New York Red Bulls dropped 3 points against New England away. New England 2, New York Red Bulls 1. Carles Gil brace in the last minutes of the game kills us, and we end up with 0 points. Guys, disappointed, but how are you? How was your weekend? Welcome to another Monday Night Raw or Tuesday SmackDown.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Great weekend. Terrible weekend for the Red Bull. We had this conversation. I said there's a possibility of being a trap game. It ended up being a trap game. Um, but the question is Sandro a fraud?
I like this. I like
Ah,
this. Steve is a defender, so go ahead, Steve.
yeah,
I
yeah.
leave
Take
it.
it easy. Take it easy
Take
over
it
there.
easy.
Take
I
it easy.
wasn't a good weekend for either team on the either side of the river. New York FC or whatever you want to call them dropped points to Atlanta and Red
After
Bull
being up 3-0. I mean,
at
3.
the beat. Wow, yeah, there you go. I didn't even want to mention that, but okay. Red Bull also dropped points in a late penalty that was Sean Nealis drawing that penalty for the Red Bulls in extra time. So I think Red Bulls ended up dropping a point there. That easily should have been a point, could have been more. We had the chances. The players just got to be a little bit more clinical. I mean, what else can we do? We're asking everything from Emil and Choupo, but some of the guys they got to step up. It sucks that Dennis didn't get to start, but you got to, I know it's 40 games for Sandro, but you still got to give him time.
So, with that being said, we can actually mention. I think his record was 40 games, 40 regular season games, and he has. Remind me, Steve, was it 13 wins?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
like
he has
16 draws.
16 draws and 11 losses.
Yeah, which
And
go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
No, I'm
It's
just saying in that last loss, it just, it is it on the coach really that Sean made that penalty at the end? You know what I mean?
No, but I think that Sandro Schwartz is playing to not lose, not to win,
Mhm.
and he's content with the draws. I
Yeah.
know we make the joke.
Yeah, and
There was a
and
million,
maybe
right?
maybe he's just like this is the way I navigate the league too, because the league is so full of parity, and it's just like as long as I pick up points, you're gonna finish top nine. You're
Get in the
gonna
playoffs.
yeah. He's doing his job. You know what I mean? But yeah, it
100%.
is a little bit like playing not to lose, but you're also playing with what you have still. We're missing, I think, still like two main pieces. And you know what two players I'm thinking about. And they're both on the left-hand side.
I think when it comes to Sandro, it's now becoming a tactical problem because we saw two different halves, right? And the back three is starting to get stale. It's starting to make it easier on other teams to read us because on those wings, Dylan Nealis got cooked. Alexander Hack got cooked when he was isolated on that left side. And I think Raheem Edwards just couldn't find his rhythm or couldn't find the timing of his positioning because I think he does very well when he's in attack. I think he's very creative. He tries to break through defenders with dribble and trying to find somebody in a cross or a pass. But it's very open. We leave so many gaps behind. And Langoni from New England was making a bunch of plays that should have ended up in goals. New England should have been up 3-1. I put this on Twitter easily, and it could have been 4-1 if they had better accuracy. But their number 17 in New England had clear shots in the box that if it wasn't for Carlos Coronel, we would be talking about a disaster game. But then that's when I say it's a tactical problem because then Sandro realizes, oh wait, hold on. I can't play that back through with Alexander Hack. He's slow.
Mm.
He's getting isolated. It's not working. We go with a back four. And what happened? Dude, Raheem Edwards was looking like prime Marcelo. He was stopping plays. He was blocking. He was helping out in defense. He was more stable, staying a little bit behind. And we saw more attack from our team. I actually loved our second half if it wasn't for that stupid penalty that we gave away. But I don't know. What did you guys think? Like,
Okay,
is
so then
Sandro
why are you
getting?
so upset?
No, I'm upset with the way we start. Why are we playing around with this back three when it didn't work in Toronto? Yeah, we ended up the win, but we were dull. We
Yeah.
weren't getting attack.
Here's the
So
worst part,
yeah,
that New England is the worst team than Toronto.
zero victories, one own goal in 4 games. They
Yeah.
had not
But
won
they
a
weren't
game.
supposed. They struck. So what? So they're struggling through the first 5 games. Teams find their form. This team
Against
wasn't.
us.
Dude,
It doesn't
if
matter. That's this league. That's the parity in this league, man. You
I'm a
know
firm
that better than
believer,
anybody else.
if they don't beat the Red Bull, they have to fire that coach.
Yeah, exactly. The
Hmm.
coach is playing for his job. They had a hell of a week of training. That's what Lloyd Sam was saying for New England. That training was very different for New England that week. That they weren't messing around, and they needed a result from this game. They weren't leaving. You think they were leaving with a loss? They would have. The coach would have been gone for sure. And
They
this
also had
team
a bye
wasn't.
week too.
Yeah, this team wasn't pegged to finish last. They should be right on that borderline of like ninth or 10th. Honestly, they
Last year
have
they were last, right?
no. They I don't think they finished last. It was still Toronto and Montreal, which is
But
what
they
the
didn't make the playoffs. I don't
no, they
think so.
didn't.
Right?
No,
They didn't.
No.
no, no.
Now it's disappointing because one of their main strikers wasn't there. Leonardo Campana is injured. So I think you
Yeah.
have to start taking advantage of that. Now they did play the kid Miller on
They
that
were in 14th.
14th. Wow. So and they were last when
Chicago was 15th.
so yeah, so they were in a good team
No.
last year. They didn't start well this year. And just a matter of fact that they struggle to get goals. That's what's disappointing because we gave up two. We gave up two
Two
and
from two from two
former
set
MVP.
plays. Two set plays.
Okay.
And a play that you highlighted actually that started with a handball. But then I don't know if that negates that since it just ends up being a free kick outside the box and it's just Carlos Gil being, who he is and fucking roping it in the top corner. So what are you gonna do about that? Emil Forsberg has the same thing in his locker as well. And that could easily happen to us if we're playing like shit. We get a free kick outside the box, and Emil ropes it in, and just like that, we're up 1-0. We saw it so much, honestly.
What I saw also is that we were having problems just giving the ball to our teammates. With our accuracy with our passes was horrible, and two players that are usually really good, Alexander Hack was giving the ball away, and we couldn't transition a couple of times. Dylan Nealis on the other side too. Now now we're gonna blame it on the turf, or we blame it on the positioning that they were on the field, or it's
Yeah,
just the players.
it's
So
poor
last
performance.
week, I think we all mentioned that Sandro Schwartz has a way of doing things, right?
Uh huh.
And we all mentioned that with all the injuries and stuff, at one point, is he going to change what he's doing, right? He changed what he was doing, but he doesn't have the group of guys that can materialize what he's trying to do. And I think this is what we're seeing right now. Like, and I don't think that they're a team that could win games 4-2, 5-3, 6-4. Like, they're not that team. Like, if it just like happened last week, like you could hold somebody to a draw for a little bit, but you're not gonna win that game 3-2. You're not. They're not.
Yeah,
They don't have it in them to do that.
yeah,
Now, are you talking about the people that actually got the chances to be in attack? Because I know Mohammed Sofo got a couple of chances there. Serge Ngoma had a chance there, but actually, I love Serge Ngoma though. The way he came on in the second half, uh,
We should have talked to him when we saw him.
yeah, because he is starting to make himself stand out in that team. Something that Wiki Carmona hasn't been able to do. We talk
yep,
about it every week. Back to back starts, the same product on the field. Yes, I know that this team relies on players to play defensively, meaning pressuring, positioning. But dude, we got to attack. We want to have ball possession. You got to learn how to attack. And as a number 10, he failed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not good in transition, if you're not good in those counter moments, then what good is it really? It sucks because he actually did pretty, put in a good shift. I'll just say that last week, this week, not so much. A lot of players didn't. I think it was just a poor performance overall, and I think that's why Sandro was just upset. I'm really interested to see what happens next week because I did like it with the back four. It gives us a different look. And I think that's Raheem Edwards' more comfortable spot too. I don't like him all the way up the field like that. I really makes me feel a little uncomfortable. And we need Morales. Oh man, how much like that's what I'm saying. You know how much of a boost Morales and Lewis Morgan and Cam Harper, okay, are gonna be? I think we'll see a much more cohesive unit then.
You know what, too? Somebody brought up to me, they were like, when you get all these guys back, you might have other teams that are hit with this injury bug. And now these guys are getting all their guys back. And it was just like last year. You got everybody back right at the right time.
Yep. I mean, even still, it's so early, and that's why I'm not worried. I'm not hitting the panic button. Yeah, we should have, I'd say, 3 extra points so far this year. That's about it, which would put us with 11 points, which is around, fifth, fourth. And that's fair, I think. And that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for fourth. That's where I am at least with this team because you got to follow up what you did last year. And I think expectations are risen, in the locker room and everywhere, and everyone wants to hold each other accountable. And we can hold Sandro accountable too. We got it. We got to call it how we see it. And I think that's good. And hopefully the team will keep growing from this. That's all we can hope for.
Yeah,
When I
and
saw that stat that you sent me about Sandro,
the 6 wins in the last 25 games.
I was
Yeah,
like,
what
dude,
you thought
that's
about that?
crazy. Because low key, you know, you went to the final. That's what you need, right?
I know. And that's gonna buy him a lot of it's pretty much bought him this entire season, I'd say. This
Uh,
Yeah.
entire season. What happens at the end of the season, though, we'll see. Because once you get all these guys back, it better start clicking. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
better start clicking, and we better start firing up the table. Like we can ponder here. We can kind of sit and just tread a little bit until these guys get back. But I'm talking about like when May and June and those cups come. Like we got to be on the cup run, or we got to be firing up the table.
I agree.
and just to
That's it.
mention, like a lot of people seem to not remember or just forget that Sandro is a guy, a coach, like throughout his history, you can see that his record is mostly draws. Like he used to draw a lot of games in Russia when he was coaching over there, in Germany as well. He knows, like I said, like he can play to not win, but he
Yeah.
won't lose, right?
Yeah.
Which is a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
The problem, I think also, look, I think there was two sides of the problem. The first one, like I mentioned, tactically, the first half, you do not go out to New England with a back three using Alexander Hack, because as good as he can be, he is a liability without that speed to track
Yeah,
back.
unfortunately, he was getting cooked there a little bit, Hacky.
Yes.
And he made the
Yeah.
right move to take him out. You know what I mean? We would be really flaming him if he kept him in there, right?
Exactly,
At
exactly.
least,
But he has to learn to let go of not being attached to, like, all right, Hack, I brought you in. I feel like I'm responsible for playing you. You have to understand you got to play your best players in the best position that they can be. And that back four looked much better. That's why I do agree. He's still a good coach because he adjusted to the
yeah,
situation. And then also there goes the part where Jumpy was saying that it's about the guys that you have. I mean, you talk about Lewis Morgan, and maybe he has that same opportunity that Sofo had. He's probably chipping that ball over, and we're talking about a 2-1 game.
yeah,
Unfortunately, Sofo is young. He's just getting back from an injury. He misses that opportunity. But it hurts
yeah,
because if you want to stand out from being that Red Bull 2 guy and want to be a starter on the first team, you have to score those goals.
A
yep,
That
million percent.
yeah.
You
That's a good.
have to finish, man. This
Yeah,
dude, you have to finish the chances that you get.
yeah. Emil Forsberg is gonna set you up. You gotta finish that. Yeah,
Listen, I posted on one of the Red Bull pages, right? On Facebook, and I'm like, when Chopa scored, I put a post. I'm like, Choupo-Moting is the best player on the team right now. And
hmm,
everybody was like, no, you spell Forsberg wrong. You did that. I'm like, every single game, he has done something to get a goal, made a
yep,
pass, put himself in a position and made somebody better, helped out Emil a ton. If he's not as good as he is right now, Emil isn't as good as he is right now.
yeah,
Choupo-Moting on the low. has been the best player on the team.
Yeah, I
And to
agree with
think this
you.
guy sat out 2 seasons.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah,
I think we all agree on that.
yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, I think there was a play in the second half where it was just tiki taka between them two and ended up in a good shot. I think it was Sofo and Ngoma who took the shot, but it was just that understanding, that quality of finding each other. I think it's huge. One of the things that I mentioned when I went to the bar, and
What
talking to
bar was
fans,
that? What bar was that?
Legends. Shout out to Legends in New York, in the city, 33rd Street. I think the Empire supporters groups goes there to watch the game. So it was just like 5, 6 people. I guess most of them were in New England. But anyways, the people that were there, hardcore Red Bull fans, and they were just saying one thing. Uh, yes, it's great to have Forsberg, but on that right side, there's no service. There is no service given to Chupo, and Chupo, as good as he is holding up the ball, as he is playing it off to another teammate or laying it off a pass, is just missing that chance. Which
Mm,
congratulations to Stroud, who was able to find him in that before the first half, at the end of the first half, and slotted that pass, and he was able to score that good goal. I think it was a great goal that started with Forsberg. But we need more of that. We knew
yep.
we're waiting for Chupa to do magic. Meanwhile, I think he already is, but we need to serve him. There's no intention. That's what I'm saying. Like with Wiki, all I saw is a lot of running. Where are those through balls? Where are those? Where are you driving the ball? Where are you looking for that cross? We can't be hesitant. We can't be scared about playing forward. You gotta have
Yeah.
bravery. You gotta
Yep.
attack as
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
number
You
as
get,
the
yep.
second number 10.
And that's what I'm saying. I think like maybe Sandro's waiting for them to start doing that. I mean, you got to be kind of creative on the field too. Like if you've got to go on the other side of the field just to get the ball to move some stuff around and cycle, you know what I mean? Players fill in as you leave that space, another player will fill in that space. You got to have that understanding too. And it's just like there's some new players, maybe they don't trust each other as much. You can see that. I feel like Forsberg kind of looked off a couple passes and is like, I'm going to pass it to Chupo, which I know he'll get it and hold it up, which is the right move to do. You know what I mean? Chupo with a great goal. It's good to see him score. I really thought we were going to get a point in that game. That's why I was so upset. I was really upset actually about this one because I really thought we were going to leave with a point, and I was fine with that. I was fine with
Dude,
that. We mentioned that actually that guy had a good shout at the end of our video, Chris, in South Ward. Going up there without Felipe, we don't have a great record up there.
It
You
was
leave
bound
with
to
a
happen.
point. You leave with a point. It's really not the end of the world. This is early days still, and fuck, we got screwed by VAR and a penalty. You know,
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, email Forsberg after the match said that we lost because of stupid fouls, stupid free kicks. So I have to ask you, what happened in that play with Sean Nealis, 92nd minute of the match? A ball that was probably could have been taken care of. Raheem Edwards could have taken care of. Ends up in the box. Sean Nealis, uh, I guess he just rushes to try to get to the ball first, but ends
yeah,
up clipping the guy. What happened there?
dude, we'll go back to this 1 second. Raheem Edwards, I'm seeing shades of a liability waiting to happen.
Mm.
Um, I know that when he signed, I made a comment on one of these pages, and I'm like, dude, the guy's a glorified journeyman. He's been in the league forever. He's been on a ton of teams. That says enough. You brought him in for experience, cool. You brought him in to teach somebody, cool. But nah, dude, the past 2 games, he's had little moments that I'm like, dude, if you do this in a real important game, they're calling for your head.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
And I
think you
think
know
this
who
is one of them.
guys. You know who? I think this is Julian de Guzman's guy.
Yes, yes. This is Julian de Guzman's guy. He brought him in, and it's funny because you know what? When I posted it, I posted something on Twitter or X, whatever. And I mentioned this cannot be the number one replacement for John Talkin. And people were going crazy. People were calling me stupid. People were calling me insane for thinking about that. And now, 4 games in, you cannot think he could be the number one starter after John Talkin left. to Germany. That's impossible. Like you said, dude, he's becoming a liability because he should have stopped that first guy before he got to Sean Nealis area. Hey, follow him outside. He was gonna go 1-on-1 against Carlos Coronel. Do
Yeah.
something. Don't let him get close in the box. He let that ball bounce and we're in trouble. But it's not only that, it's the other things that he has done in the past that has been a problem. So why are you not playing Omar Valencia? What did he do so wrong in the last games that he is not given a chance? Because for me, I think he's somebody that has more speed, he's more athletic, he's quick, and he can also attack. We saw it. Maybe
Mhm.
perhaps his crosses needs a little bit of work, but he can do a lot more things, and I feel more comfortable having him in the back line instead of Raheem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
We know Kyle Duncan's coming back soon too. I mean, I know everyone's not a huge fan of that, but it's another option.
Hmm.
And then we're just obviously all waiting for Morales to come back. Chris, does he primarily play left back or?
Yeah, and he would have to play that wing back role. I'm assuming if Sandro wants to be stubborn and keep his back three, but yeah, he would be the position where Raheem is playing, whether that's a left back or a wing
Yeah,
back.
I think once he comes back, Kyle Duncan comes back, you might have a situation where it's Morales, Duncan, Edwards in the depth chart like that.
I want to bring up Dylan English too because I have a problem. Maybe you guys see it, maybe you guys don't. But just lastly, that penalty, fair. Nothing with Sean Nealis. He just made a mistake. Anything you want to comment
Yeah,
on?
I thought at first that it was kind of bullshit, and then when you slow everything down and you look at every, minute detail, yeah, he did touch the ball, the New England player before Sean, got to him, which it looked like he kind of just fended him off. But yeah, yeah, unfortunately, when you're at the monitor like that and you're looking at it like that, we saw it last
That's
week kind of for us, right? With
that's a home
Raheem.
field call.
Yeah.
No, no. Again, we had
We
one like that last week at Red Bull with
yeah,
Edwards, actually. I
yeah,
think that
yeah,
if it's in another stadium, Edwards doesn't get the call. I think the same thing here. I think
yeah.
if you're at Red Bull Arena, they don't make the call.
Now a lot of people have problems with Sean Nealis that are complaining that he's maybe not as good as he was last year. Do you guys think the same or
What,
not?
just off that one play? It's so funny because I was just saying he had a decent game.
Yeah, I thought
Because
so too. I think he was okay.
what are you gonna do with the Carlos Gil free kick? I mean, come on, it's a bad foul. Listen to Emil Forsberg. It's what he said. And who was that on taking the bad fouls? Is that Sandro out there making those bad fouls and bad decisions? Yes,
Well,
he has to pick the team, but I do want them to, go for the win much more than settling for a draw. Because it is a bad mentality. Because even the fans get into it. Like even I'm like, yeah, I'll take a draw.
Sandro, Sandro Pontecorvo over here, bro.
Yeah.
Uh, and just also, I wanted to mention something about Dylan Ellis, who I think in general he is a good defender, but playing that wing back, I think he's suffering a lot because he's lacking those ideas, the offensive ideas to produce in that final third and the positions
Mhm.
third. I think that's the problem that I have. Um, man, I miss Cam Harper. I miss Dennis Gangar, but unfortunately, we can't say much. At the end of the day, if you see that it's not working, Sandro, just play the back four. Play him in the back and put somebody
Yeah.
else. Serge Ngoma, fantastic. I'm really excited of what he can show us in the next game.
Yeah, me too.
Um, but yeah, anything else that you guys wanted to touch on about this game that we haven't touched on already?
Yeah, I think that they're having we mentioned it a little bit before, the Red Bull having an issue finishing. They easily could have won that game. They're getting the opportunity, so everybody's doing everything right. They're just not finishing. You
Yeah.
have to finish in this league. You have to finish. There is absolutely no reason for you to go up to New England and come back with zero to the worst team in the league. No reason, especially with the firepower that you have. But it all comes down to finishing. Because again, Carlos made a ton of saves again,
He did
Mm.
and
in
he
the
still
first half.
didn't get his contract yet. We're gonna,
We're gonna keep saying it until he
We're gonna
does.
every week. We're gonna say it until we get you, Carlito,
Two
locked
two
up.
great saves though. Two great saves. Shots
Yep.
from like I said, I think I forgot his name, but it's number 17 from New England, and there were shots right there inside the box, and he blocked them, both of them. One ended up hitting the post. That's what I'm
Mm.
saying. Like if New England wanted it, they could have really put this game away, but Carlos kept us in the game.
like he does
Um,
Yeah,
every week.
like he does every week.
Dude, you
it,
Uh,
know,
mhm.
that's why next week is going to be interesting because the Chicago Fire like to score a lot of goals, so we're going to have to score some goals next week. It's good to see Choupo scoring though. We need more of that, so he gets a little bit more confidence, another goal under his belt. And with those two there, we got a chance to win every night, I believe, with those two on the field. And can we just get those other role players, to chip in a little bit more and get a goal here or there? And I think we'll be okay. I'm not panicking too much. Yeah, it's a bad loss. Can we pick up another win in a game that we maybe not supposed to win in? As I'm thinking somewhere along the season, I can see that and hopefully make up for this poor performance.
what's the timetable for Harper?
We're gonna have to find out because they said weeks. So, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So I'm thinking probably another 2 weeks. We'll find out this Thursday, but I'm thinking it's maybe by mid-April or by the end of the month we'll see him on the field. Um, but we need him. We need him back. And also like what Sandro likes to do is like he likes to slowly get to them, get them to be a match fit. So it's not like he's gonna start right away. So
Yeah,
we just have to be hopeful, take it easy. We have Felipe Caraballo back. I
that's
know that
good.
he was
Yeah,
enjoying
you
his
got mad. You
concert.
got mad because he went
Of
to go see
course,
Daddy Yankee.
of course, listening to that, going to the Daddy Yankee J Balvin
Ba-
concerts.
Jay Balvin. Hey, you can't blame him. That was fun. That looked like fun at the Barclays. Shout out Barclays, Brooklyn. Some positives. I think you thinking positive. I like that. I like that. Let's go. We got Victor Bogarts coming back in. He only got a fucking 30-second trot out there. Got to hold hands with the New England players for a few minutes.
I have to
Uh,
get your take, both of you. I mean, you kind of mentioned about Jumpy. You put the guy, to debut 30 or like a minute before the game ends. What is
I
he gonna
hate
do?
that.
What
I
is he
hate
gonna
that.
do?
I hate that. I hate that, dude. I hate that. I hate that when you're winning and you bring on a guy with 2 minutes. Like last week, they brought in Parker with like 3 minutes left. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? For what? For what?
He didn't even touch the ball once. I think. I don't know. I
Bro,
don't
not
know.
even. By the time you get on and you look around to like where you gotta go. You're gonna go to the right, you're gonna go to the left. It's over. You didn't even know where to go yet, and it's already they're blowing the whistle, the game's over. So you're there for the handshakes and the shirt exchanges.
That, that's the problem. That's the problem that I had. And the thing is that Victor, it looks like he can provide a lot for this team. And if you're still like you're 1-1, you're looking to win this game, bring him on 10, 15 minutes before the game ends, not the last 30 seconds to see if you play a Hail Mary and see if he heads the ball in. Come on, Sandro. Like those are the little things that I'm like, Sandro, like we need you to be the guy you're expected to be. Go for those 3 points. Don't hesitate and make the changes when you're supposed to. I think he did well. He Serge, great, because he changed the game. Sofo had the opportunities. It's not like Sandro can score for him. But one more. You still have one more opportunity. Bring Victor in earlier, not just 30 seconds before the game ends, man. That's all I can say.
yeah, and like Sancho, I think that just proves like just a coach is just a little out of touch because a lot of fans don't like that. I don't think he was expecting the penalty to be called, so once they went up a goal, I think then he was just maybe last second he's like, all right, maybe let's get Victor out there to maybe get one last shot on net, get a header down or something because he's tall. But yeah, that's beat. You can't put him on that late. But coaches used to do that all the time. Even some of the top coaches still do that shit. It's crazy.
Just
Just
I
to
to
don't
win
buy
know.
a
the
little
game.
time. Just to buy a little time.
Yeah,
That too.
exactly. To buy time, but when
That
you're
too.
losing, you're tying the game. Just go for it, man. And by the way, Victor Bogax played his first game with Rebels 2. He scored within 7 minutes of the start of the game. So, and a good combination play with Julian Hall. The Polish connection is starting to work, at least for Rebel 2. Let's see if
At
we
least
can.
they scored in the right net.
Yeah, yeah,
Yo,
and
shout out to Luca and RB2 for inviting us to the game. Nice first derby of the year. Dope little vibe. I mean, there was like 16 people there, and we were four of them. But it was cool to be at. You know, those kids were going hard. Torcida was out there. Shout out to Torcida. But shout out to Luca for having us come out to the game. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and a Rebel 2 victory, 3-2 against NYCFC 2 on the first derby of the year. So that's pretty cool to see.
yeah,
Shout out to everybody as well. Obviously,
meant a lot.
we're getting to the end of the show. We're gonna play Chicago. I want to hear you guys' predictions for the match.
Ooh, I got a
Ooh,
good
Steve, you
one.
took a deep breath before you said that. You got me nervous, Steve.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting because Chicago is in good form. They're scoring a lot of goals. This game could be fun. Um, I'm not super positive on this, but I'm going for a 3-2 Red Bull win. I think they bounce back and we see a lot of goals, just like how RB2 beat NYCFC scoreline 3-2. Shout out to the boys down there. Julian Hall scoring that penalty. And he freaking takes his shirt off too, throws it in the air, little knee slide. You're gonna tell me that doesn't mean nothing to those guys? Come on, they love beating NYCFC.
By the
Yeah.
way, you were right about Chupo too. Sorry, Steve mentioned that Chupo was gonna score in New England, and he did. So shout out, props to you, Steve. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead,
thank you,
Jorge.
thank you. And I'm pretty sure I called the draw too, and that's why I think I was even more upset that we gave away a penalty at the end. So this one I'm going a little wild. I'm saying 3-2. I really hope we bounce back with the win here, and I think Dennis should be available, so that'll give us an option on the win.
I'm thinking, you guys don't want to hear this, but I'm thinking a draw.
That's so
Like,
original.
it's too easy to go for a draw.
You know what the problem is? I see a couple more of these in the future with what he's doing, and we've already come to the conclusion that he's not looking to lose. He's not pushing to win. So you got to leave with a point. You can't have 2 weeks in a row that you don't leave with a point. So I'm gonna play it safe and say a draw. But if this fucking draw happens, when I see you guys in the press room, you still have that hot dog, Chris, from Sunday?
I still have it in the fridge. No, I'm kidding. Now, I gotta tell you this, because you're telling me that in 7 games we tie, we're gonna have 9 points. You're gonna be okay with that? 7 games, 9 points?
Hmm.
You have
It's
to
the
win,
MLS.
man.
You just got to make the playoffs, bw.
But that can't
Yeah,
be the mentality, man. And
it's
I
That's
not.
said
what
that
it
last
is,
game.
Chris. That's what it is. Listen,
Yeah,
you
I
want the supporter shield. I get that, but that
but our
didn't
aim is
work,
fourth. Our aim is
huh?
fourth. I
at
think the
fourth,
aim
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jorge. It's fourth.
it's fourth, and it's still obtainable. It's so early. It's too early yet. Talk to me after 16 games, not six. Okay. Give me 10 more games. Give me out of April into May because April's a busy month and May is even more. So that's what I'm saying. We'll really find out the true colors of this team soon. It's just slowly revealing itself. So far, rubbed off 2-2-2 seems pretty average, and that's what it was last year. You know, I think he's really trying to get the most out of this group. We're demanding more. I think that's why he's upset. But we want to keep those good vibes because after beating Toronto, it looked like the locker room was still having a good time. AJ's debut, you know what I mean? We got to keep the good mojo going, and however that may be. So let email lead the charge, and everyone follow suit. We need everyone to step up, though. We need some guys to step in. I need Serge. I think Serge Ngoma gets a goal this game.
Ooh,
Okay.
All right,
okay, I like that.
that's gonna be my other shout.
Steve, what do you got back there? What vintage you got for this week? What you got?
Well, I got a couple things. I mean, I'll show you this one. This is from '96. Oh,
Ooh.
but this is not for sale. I can't. I can't let go of this right now. If I get another one, I'll let you guys know. All right. But
All
I
right.
got this for sale. It's an Athletic Bilbao track jacket, Kappa. This is from 93, 92. This is old school, my friend. And I got the track pants for it too. If you're feeling, like you want to go full Italian in a track suit.
What size? What size is it?
It's a size medium.
Okay. Okay. Nah, it
You
looks
see it
nice, man.
here?
It's fresh.
Oh
Steve,
yeah,
where
it's
are we
fresh.
finding this stuff? Where are we finding it?
You just got to go to feelsgoodfc.com.
All right.
Feelsgoodfc.com to see all the
Yep.
collections.
Yep.
You have to come in and watch us every week because not everything is on the website. So if you want to see the real gems, you have to watch our episodes. And
And
Jorge,
if you want,
yeah,
if you want, for the right price, Steve will take off the shirt that he's wearing, the jersey he's wearing, if you want that one, and he'll pack it for you right away. So if you're watching the show, you send a DM to the South Ward Network, be like, I want the Volca jersey. He'll take it off right on the spot, put it in a bag, and ship it out to you tomorrow.
Yeah, name your price, right?
Hey, yo, hold on. Yo, shout out to New England's PR people. You tried to fool everybody telling us that there was 20,000 there. There wasn't 22 there.
Yeah.
And you're going to come out and you're going to say 20,000? Yo, shout out to New England for the April Fools a couple days early. Because y'all are bugging up there.
I know, Chris. We took a
20,000.
picture of what it looked like, 15 minutes before the game, and there wasn't anybody there. I mean, I know it's cold up there and stuff, but wow.
yeah, they either
Yo,
like or just throw their money away because tickets distributed. But yeah, that's unreal.
20,000?
Yeah, but at
April
least, hey,
Fools. April Fools.
April. But at least, shout out to the Red Bulls fans who made it up there. Supposedly like
Always.
200 of them.
Yes,
That
always.
that made the
Always.
bus trek up there.
I mean,
Set
you
up.
guys don't want to hear this, but also shout out to NYCFC fans that took a little bit of a longer trip to Atlanta. I
Yeah,
love
facts.
that. I love when
No,
the home
I
teams.
love that on both sides. I
Yeah,
think that's cool. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Shout out to those fans who travel for NYCFC too. Like that just shows the dedication. You
Everybody came
know?
back with L's.
Yep. Yep. That's how it be.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
came back with L's.
that's how it be, and in different fashions too.
That's it.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
That's it.
Let's hope they turn it around this week. Guys, thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe, follow the pages, follow TMV Clothing, follow the exchange, follow Feels Good as well. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, just let us know. We'll be happy to answer them. See you
Follow
guys
out the
next
Southward
week.
Network. How you not going to give yourself the commercial?
They should, if they're watching, they should be following Southward Network, even if it's just a small clip. Follow, support, onward with the Southward with the
Oh,
best product in the game.
shout out to the Southward for their little segment on El Bizcocho. You know,
Hey,
Ah,
I
you
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. I saw a little outlet, not a little outlet. I didn't even know that they had newspapers in Chile. I didn't even think they had computers, but they do. And they had Southward Network over there.
Support Southward, support TMV, the exchange. Guys, we'll see you next week. Take care. Have a good one.
If you want the Boca shirt, DM him right now.
yo, stop, chill, chill.
Peace.